The megachurch concentration in America is absolutely mind-blowing. Some cities have more megachurches per capita than coffee shops, and the pattern isn't random. According to Hartford Institute's database, the US now has over 1,750 megachurches serving 2,000 or more people weekly. But here's what's wild. 15 cities account for nearly 40% of them all. These aren't just big churches, they're reshaping entire metropolitan areas. Pew Research shows 73% of megachurch attendees drive over 30 minutes to get there, meaning these congregations pull believers from massive geographic areas. The cities that dominate this landscape have something in common: explosive population growth, strong Bible Belt roots, and suburban sprawl that creates perfect conditions for massive church campuses. The concentration tells a story about where Americans are moving, what they're looking for, and how modern Christianity is evolving. Number 15, Jacksonville, Florida. This is Florida's most underrated city. The metro area has 12 megachurches serving 1.6 million people. That's one megachurch for every 133,000 residents, which is staggering considering the city covers over 800 square miles. Pew Research data shows 77% of Jacksonville residents identify as Christian, way above Florida's 70% average. The military presence drives this. Naval Air Station Jacksonville and Naval Station Mayport bring thousands of service members who skew heavily toward church attendance. Celebration Church reported 15,000 weekly attendees in 2023. 1122, launched in 2012, already serves 8,000 weekly. According to Lifeway Research, Jacksonville megachurches have the youngest congregations in Florida, with an average age of 38. Number 14, Nashville, Tennessee, the Music City and Megachurch Central. The Metro has 12 megachurches for 1.4 million people. That's one for every 116,000 residents. According to Pew Research, 73% of Tennessee residents identify as Christian versus 63% nationally. But Nashville isn't just keeping believers, it's importing them. U.S. Census data shows Davidson County gained 89,000 residents between 2010 and 2020. Christ Church Nashville and the People's Church operate like small towns with daycare, counseling, and coffee shops. These aren't just Sunday morning operations. They're 7-day-a-week community hubs that have basically replaced traditional town squares. Number 13, Phoenix, Arizona, the desert boomtown. Phoenix has 14 megachurches, up from just 8 in 2010. Hartford Institute data shows that's a 75% increase in barely over a decade. IRS migration statistics reveal Arizona gained 93,000 residents from California between 2018 and 2021. Many came from Orange County and San Diego, where megachurch culture runs deep. Dream City Church pulls 20,000 weekly attendees. Barna Group research shows Arizona's Christian population skews younger, with 34% of attendees under 40. Younger congregants mean longer giving lifetimes and stronger social media presence, exactly what megachurches need to thrive. Number 12, Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the banking capital and megachurch powerhouse. The city has 16 megachurches for 2.8 million people. That's one for every 175,000 residents. Hartford Institute data shows North Carolina ranks 4th nationally in megachurches, and Charlotte holds 30% of them. The Southern Baptist Convention reports Mecklenburg County has 847 total churches, but megachurches serve 35% of weekly attendees despite being less than 2% of congregations. Elevation Church reported 27,000 weekly attendees in 2022. The growth mirrors Charlotte's economic boom. IRS data shows the city gained 758,000 residents between 2010 and 2020, many relocating for banking jobs and bringing megachurch expectations. Number 11, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, is dead center in the Bible Belt. The city has 14 megachurches serving just 1.4 million people. That's one megachurch for every 100,000 residents, among the highest concentrations anywhere. Pew Research shows 79% of Oklahoma residents identify as Christian and 47% specifically as evangelical Protestant. That's the 5th highest evangelical rate in America. Life Church, founded by Craig Groeschel, reports over 100,000 weekly attendees across 40 locations in multiple states. The Oklahoma City flagship alone serves 25,000 weekly. Southern Baptist data shows megachurches account for 30% of all Oklahoma County church attendance, despite being a tiny fraction of total congregations. Number 10, Fort Worth, Texas. The city is overshadowed by Dallas, but carving its own path. Fort Worth proper has 11 megachurches, jumping to 19 across Tarrant County. For 2.6 million people, that density is wild. Hartford Institute data shows the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex has 67 megachurches total, the highest count of any metro. Fort Worth accounts for nearly 30% of them. Pew Research shows 77% of Tarrant County identifies as Christian. Gateway Church in Southlake reported 39,000 weekly attendees in 2022, making it one of America's 10 largest churches. Southern Baptist data reveals Fort Worth has Texas's highest per capita megachurch giving at $4,200 annually per attendee. Number 9. Atlanta, Georgia. It's the capital of the New South. The metro area has 23 megachurches for 6.1 million people. That's one for every 265,000 residents. Hartford Institute data shows Georgia ranks third nationally with 86 megachurches, and Atlanta holds over a quarter. Pew Research shows 79% of Georgia residents identify as Christian, sixth highest in America. North Point Community Church reported 43,000 weekly attendees across 6 locations in 2023. The U.S. Census shows Atlanta gained 1.2 million residents between 2010 and 2020, fourth fastest growth nationally. IRS data reveals these newcomers arrived from across the Sun Belt, bringing diverse traditions that Atlanta megachurches absorb. Number 8. Los Angeles, California, the entertainment capital and unlikely megachurch hub. The metro has 29 megachurches, serving 13 million people. Pew Research shows only 63% of LA residents identify as Christian, well below average, yet megachurches thrive by targeting specific communities. Saddleback Church reported 30,000 weekly before Rick Warren's retirement. Angelus Temple draws 10,000. Barna Group research reveals LA megachurches are 37% more ethnically diverse than the national average. U.S. Census data shows LA County lost 350,000 residents between 2010 and 2020, yet megachurch attendance grew as believers consolidated into larger congregations. Number 7. Chicago, Illinois, the Midwest powerhouse. The metro has 26 megachurches for 9.5 million people. Pew Research shows only 71% of Illinois residents identify as Christian, down from 80% in 2007. Yet megachurches grew through consolidation. Willow Creek Community Church pioneered the seeker-sensitive movement and peaked at 25,000 weekly attendees. PRRI data shows Chicago's suburban collar counties remain heavily Christian, with DuPage and Will counties over 75%. U.S. Census reveals these suburbs gained population while Chicago proper declined. Lifeway research shows Chicago megachurches have the highest education levels nationally, with 64% of attendees holding bachelor's degrees versus 44% average. Number 6. Phoenix metropolitan area. The greater Phoenix metro, counted as a whole, becomes a juggernaut. The 5-county area has 31 megachurches for 5 million residents. That's one for every 161,000 people. Barna Group research shows Arizona has the fastest megachurch growth rate since 2010, with new congregations launching at triple the national average. U.S. Census data shows Phoenix Metro gained 850,000 residents between 2010 and 2020, a 20% increase. Christ Church of the Valley reported 38,000 weekly attendees in 2023. PRRI data shows Phoenix megachurch attendees are 23% more likely to be under 30 than the national average, creating vibrant congregations that feel like community centers. Number 5. Dallas, Texas, the crown jewel. The city has 28 megachurches in Dallas County alone, serving 7.6 million metro residents. Hartford Institute data shows Dallas megachurches pioneered innovations that reshaped American Christianity: contemporary worship, multi-site venues, church branding. The Potter's House reported 30,000 members in 2023. First Baptist Dallas serves 13,000 weekly. Pew Research shows 73% of Dallas County identifies as Christian, but suburban Plano and Frisco report over 80% according to PRRI. U.S. Census shows these suburbs gained 180,000 combined residents between 2010 and 2020. Southern Baptist data reveals Dallas County megachurches collect over $940 million annually. Number 4. Houston, Texas. Greater Houston has 52 megachurches for 7.1 million people. That's one for every 136,000 residents, the highest concentration among major metros. Hartford Institute data shows Houston has more megachurches than Los Angeles, Chicago, and Phoenix combined. Lakewood Church, led by Joel Osteen, is America's largest with 52,000 weekly attendees meeting in a former NBA arena. Second Baptist reported 25,000 weekly across 5 campuses. Pew Research shows 73% of Harris County identifies as Christian, but PRI reveals Houston has the highest weekly attendance rate of any major metro at 49% versus 36% nationally. U.S. Census shows Houston gained 1.4 million residents between 2010 and 2020. Southern Baptist data shows Harris County megachurches collect over $1.1 billion annually. Number 3. Orlando, Florida. It is the theme park capital turned megachurch empire. The city has 13 megachurches for 2.7 million people. But the real story is velocity. Lifeway research data shows Orlando's megachurch attendance grew 47% between 2015 and 2022, the fastest expansion in Florida. U.S. Census figures explain why. Orlando gained 415,000 new residents over that period, driven by retirees, Latin American immigrants, and young families fleeing expensive coastal markets. First Baptist Orlando crossed the 2,000 attendance threshold in 2008 and hit 6,500 by 2020. Discovery Church didn't exist before 2007 and now serves over 4,000 weekly. According to Barna Group research, 68% of Orlando megachurch attendees came from smaller congregations, clear evidence of church shopping behavior where believers trade up to larger, more resource-rich communities. Number 2, Sacramento, California. The capital of California is an unlikely megachurch stronghold. The city hosts 11 thriving megachurches, despite sitting in one of America's most unchurched states. Pew Research shows only 63% of Californians identify as Christian, well below the national average. Yet PRRI data reveals that while California's overall religiosity declined, certain pockets became intensely religious. Sacramento County's evangelical population grew 12% between 2014 and 2020, completely bucking state trends. Bayside Church reported 22,000 weekly attendees in 2023. That's remarkable for a metro population of only 2.4 million. The church pioneered the multi-site model that California megachurches now copy everywhere. U.S. Census data shows Sacramento's suburban communities like Roseville and Folsom grew 15% and 18% respectively over the last decade, creating prime territory, young families with disposable income and traditional values. Number 1, Denver, Colorado. Denver is the most unlikely megachurch hub in America. Colorado ranks among the least religious states, with Pew Research showing only 52% of residents identify as Christian. Yet Denver cultivated 10 thriving megachurches in a metro of 3 million people. The secret is demographic targeting. PRRI data shows that while Colorado's overall religiosity declined, evangelical Christianity among Denver's suburban populations actually increased 8% since 2014. These believers concentrate in fast-growing areas like Highlands Ranch, Castle Rock, and Parker. Flatirons Community Church serves over 9,000 weekly across multiple campuses. Cherry Creek Presbyterian reported 5,500 attendees in 2022. These numbers are staggering for Denver's secular reputation. U.S. Census data reveals Denver gained 350,000 new residents between 2010 and 2020, many relocating from Texas and California. Barna Group research indicates 41% of these transplants were already megachurch attendees in their previous cities, and they actively sought similar experiences in Denver, proving that megachurch culture travels with believers wherever they go. The megachurch map reveals more than religion. It's about migration, where Americans move and why. It's about demographics, young families choosing suburbs. It's about consolidation, believers trading up for bigger experiences. These 15 cities export models that reshape Christianity nationwide. But researchers are now tracking explosive growth in cities not on this list. Places where concentration is building but hasn't peaked yet. Where the next megachurch boom is quietly forming and nobody's talking about it because the data is still too fresh to make headlines.